So Shakur Stevenson was recently on The Breakfast Club, and during that interview he mentioned that he would only be willing to fight Devin Haney if there was a rehydration clause in place. He'd be willing to fight Devin Haney at 147 should there be a rehydration clause. Now, there are people saying, if Shakur really wanted to fight Devin Haney, if he really thought he was the best, he wouldn't need a rehydration clause. But honestly, it gets to a point, right? Because they couldn't do the fight at 135 because Devin Haney would show up to that fight at too big. He'd be too big, right? I always look back at the Lomachenko versus Devin Haney fight, and you see a guy in Devin Haney who legit looks 2 weight divisions bigger than Lomachenko. Devin Haney looks like a 147-pound fighter in that fight against Lomachenko, who, I wouldn't say was a natural 35er. He's probably a natural 30-pounder who, was forced to move up to try and get some big fights. So again, of course, Lomachenko is not naturally the biggest 35er, but still. Devin Haney looked a good 2 weight divisions bigger than him. And now if he was to fight Shakur at 35 again, you're now looking at a guy you're now going to be 2 weight divisions bigger than or come fight night. And Shakur's a guy, he's a pretty natural 135er. I think he said that, he is a natural 35er. He doesn't cut much weight to fight at 35. This is where he should be. Whereas Devin Haney's natural weight class would be more around 147. Nearer the 140, the 140, 147 mark, like he said. And they're both top-notch boxers. I mean, I kind of understand it. I understand it somewhat because, again, there is a bit of that, yeah, well, if he was the best, he'd be willing to fight him anyway, whatever. But at this high level, you've got to do everything you can to try and fight on an even playing field, or as much as you can, diminish your opponent's strengths. Because and maybe it's a negotiating tactic as well, because if you do that and you just give them everything you want and you just play into their game, naturally, come fight now, you're going to have disadvantages. Say, if you wanted a smaller ring, or if you wanted a bigger ring, say you wanted a rehydration, you didn't want a rehydration, say you wanted out of competition testing. All these things can be negotiated into or out of contract negotiations. So it's all stuff you need to consider. And yeah, I understand what Shakur's saying. I don't think he's ducking Devin Haney per se because he's be afraid of him. But I think Shakur just doesn't see it as a smart move. Why would you do that? I just don't think Shakur sees it as a smart move. Now, and he's in a particular situation where he's not limited by any real options. Do you know what I mean? There's a plethora of guys that want to fight Shakur Stevenson. He's got this fight upcoming with Teofimo. He can go back down to 35, unify there, fight the world champions at 35. Even if he wanted to maybe do something at 40, he's good enough to. He would take a belt off the likes of Subriel Matias without breaking a sweat. And I'm a big Subriel Matias fan. But Shakur would take that belt off of him without breaking a sweat. So again, when you're that good of a boxer, you don't have to be forced into taking these fights on bad terms. And knowing Bill Haney, he'll want to give Shakur some bad terms. Small percentages of the purse. All these things. And you know what Bill's like. But, let me know what you guys thought of Shakur saying that. Do you think Shakur is ducking Devin Haney by saying if they was to fight at 147, there would need to be a rehydration clause? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.